Hello and welcome to part 44. So let me put in a low distance measure locator tool here. So V, left click here and then there. So when we, why is it? Oh, it snapped to the wrong. So let me do that again. So it snapped to the wrong vertex here. So hover with that, left click, then we left click here. So that's the height we originally put in here. So it's 2.95 centimeters. And from my measurements, you see that that gap here between the two case parts. That's from the bottom to the where it starts here, 12 millimeters, and from the top 16.5. So, which means that the gap is about a millimeter wide or narrow, so the center of that gap here, it should be at 1.25 centimeters or 12.5. Okay, I'm just happy that I'm not working in that I'm working in the metric system and not with inches or stuff like that. So if we move here that locator to the center of that gap, so which is about 1.25. Let me just hit plus on the keyboard to enlarge that handle, so it gives you more. And then I think it's Control or no Shift. I don't know. Is it Alt? Control Alt. There's a shortcut for where is it for smoother moving here. So I hold on Shift. It's somehow out here. So I don't want to be too accurate, but that's 12.5 millimeters. And now if we check out from the top view, and let me turn on X-ray mode here, so you see that our background image that we scaled earlier, it's almost perfect. So that's crazy, but yeah, good. That's a good thing. So I will insert an edge loop here at that point just for alignment reasons first. So let me just insert that here and then bring it right to the locator position. So it's almost directly sitting there where it should sit. You see that here? So it's almost the center of that gap. Can't believe it. I mean, it's getting a little off here to the right, but it's coming very close. Okay. Go back here to perspective. So I leave that locator there, and maybe I'll put in some more later on. So we need let's go to object mode, and maybe we change some detail here. Let me go to that. Let's just click here on that border edge loop and then hit Control Shift greater than. So that's the button next to the left shift. So it's sitting right from the left shift button. So shift and then greater than, so that expands the selection. So let me just go until I get all those edges here selected, and then hit R, and we scale them down a bit more. And then we say press only greater than, so then we're going to shrink this selection. So just once and bring that closer, and then again click that button on the keyboard to shrink this selection. Bring that closer, and then let's select only that border edge and bring that closer. so we don't need that much space later on. So we do the same here. Double click on the border edge, then shift greater than. Oh, maybe just one step back and then scale it down as well. Then shrink the selection. One shrink. No, that works. So then again we do the same here with this guy. Scale it a little bit down. Shrink this selection. Don't want to input an edge. Edge mode. So once we did that, so we only need one of that 16 millimeter diameter opening here, and we assume that at least the 11 millimeter openings here are sitting right on top of that on that gap or that separation that we put in later. W, then minus to shrink that handle. So let me just move the pivot, press D and then V, middle mouse, snap it here, and then move that whole object down and V and C together for curve or edge snapping. Should work as well, only for the Y level. And then we could just center the pivot again. And then realign it here in, what is it, Z, and then again press C and then middle mouse over that line here. So it should snap it there. Did. Okay. So those 7 millimeter openings are not sitting directly on top of that center part, so let me think. So I'm thinking we're just putting them into the center, but that wouldn't be correct, right? So let's not do that. Okay, so again, let's DV middle mouse and snap the pivot somewhere here, move it in Y and then C middle mouse there. Then let's center the pivot again. So first we align it here to that, so now C middle mouse over that edge here. So we align it there and then we bring the two down later. So let's change the pivot here as well. DV middle mouse, move it here and then C middle mouse and snap it to that edge or that Y level. Center the pivot, and this is also absolutely not sitting on that gap. Okay, so let's check it out here from our top view. So if we move it here somewhere about that background image, so I think we gotta go a little bit higher, so we're gonna measure that later on. So bring that 11 millimeters. I don't want to move it up or down, so I just leave it on that X level. Okay, so now let's bring in another locator. And V left click here to that point, that edge, and then just V left click here, so little offset there, but go back to the top view. So I want to move that locator so it's almost sitting here. Check it out from perspective. Let's leave that quad view open. So we're moving it here to the outer end. So we have almost exact 14 millimeters, which is kind of scaring me. So I measured that, you know, from that outer point to there, 14 millimeters, so that's almost perfect. So the position here, I'm gonna leave the position here as it is. So why not using that locator? So I just hit Q and now select both locators. I move them here. So I measured that distance here of 8.5 between that outer part of that opening here and, you know, this edge. So let's only grab that locator here and then let's just V-snap it, middle mouse here to that position. So why not bringing it here to that center line? Snap it there. Snap this guy there as well. So C and then C and middle mouse and snap it over that point. So from what's that? Oh, that's the camera. So let's under show viewport, let's turn off the cameras. So now let's grab this one and then move it until we have what was it, 8.5 millimeters? Yeah. Yeah, so somewhere about like that. Okay. So now let's create a polygon cube. Bring it here. And then we scale it to 13 by 8.5. So the distance was 7. So that was a dimension. Okay, so we're gonna move it later on. So the distance here is 7 and the height of that opening is 8.5. So we need to select that polygon cube, go to the inputs. So 1.3 width and the depth in this case, not the height. So 0.85. And then let's grab that locator and move it here until it says 7 millimeters or 0.7 centimeters. Somewhere about here. Yeah, should be good enough. So and then let's move it here. Let's go to the top view and move it here until it lines up to that point here. Okay, there's an offset, but okay, can live with that. And of course it has to be sitting up here. So why not? So that's the center of that gap, so it has to sit a little bit above it. Somewhere about here, so. And then from here to that opening here, I measured 8 millimeters. So let's grab those handles here, bring them almost to the end of that cube. Only grab this one, move it until it says 8.8. And then we're moving that object here until the opening is at the level of that locator. Somewhere about here. Go to the top view. So yeah, those are the the ones that are sitting a little bit lower. So let's take care about the distance here from here on. So we need another cube 10 by 12. Oh, so this is 10, so this is 1.2. This is also, yeah, not sitting directly on top of, somewhere about here. Yeah, I think that's good enough. So let's grab our locators, move them to the left. So just put the one there and then again select that one, move it here again, so it's very close, 14, so the position here is good. So let's grab the locators. So one here at the end of that cube, almost, doesn't have to be 100,000% perfect. So then we move it here until it says, oh, that was almost 5 millimeters, somewhere about here. And then let's grab one of those here, and then let's say under Edit, Duplicate Special, and then we put it to Instance. And we do 2 copies. So when we tweak that geometry later on, so we don't have to do it twice, or just hit Apply. So we get the 2 instanced geometries here. So those are both selected. So bringing that one so that the corner here sits on top of that locator, and then we select here only that P-plane 7, move it here, so it should be 8 millimeters between the 2 openings. Let's check that out. It's 8.7, yeah. Maybe move it here just a little bit back. Still, yeah, so it's 0.7, so that was, yeah, so that's kind of crazy adjusting that for so that's 8. I don't know, maybe I didn't read it right earlier. Somewhere about here. Oh, that's good. Alright, so just to finish this up, I know this is kind of boring, but you know, the preparation for the openings is important. So if we don't do it now, and we connect it first, then try to align it. So let's before we put all this geometry together, it's always important to put it all in place and not changing it later. Which we could, but I think it's not a good idea to do that. So let's go here to edit and create another instance. So put that back to 1 and say apply, close that window, and now use the locators again. Put that there so that the one is sitting here at the corner of the opening or of that cylinder shape. And then move only the one here. So we need now 7 millimeters and here's 6. So let's bring it here until it says 7. Almost. So there we go. Alright, about 7 millimeters. Then we grab that one instance here. And then, yeah, sitting perfect there. Let's grab the 2 locators, put the one there, select this one, and then, what did I say, 6 millimeters? .6. Alright, so we select that object, move it here. Somewhere about here. So then of course we have to move the 2 here down a little bit. Somewhere about here. Just a tiny bit higher. Okay. So we got everything that's on the back side, you know, every opening is prepared, so the next step will be to connect this together to make it one, or I would say 2 pieces. And then bring that back to the rest of that bottom part of the case. But for this video, sorry guys for boring measurements and adjusting, but it is like it is. And see you in the next video.